عروسات النور تاج البدر يبرق.
Assalamu Alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakat.
I'm Yasmin,
I'm Fatu.
and you're listening to
The Silent Path.
So today we're gonna be talking about all things marriage. And you're like, oh my god, another one. Yes, but we're gonna be putting our own spin to it. It's not gonna be like, oh, this and this and this and this that. Mind you, me and Fatu kind of have like different opinions. Like we both understand each other's side, but we low-key is gonna be kind of a debate because we both low-key have different opinions about it. So you're gonna see in a minute. We're gonna be holding the vows, okay?
No.
And basically it's like cultural pressure versus personal readiness, okay? And it talks about how families, friends, and social media hype influence young people about this topic. As I said, overrated because it's been over discussed.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna start with the family expectations by first starting with the pressure from parents or relatives to marry young. And honestly, that's mean like I don't know, like on my side, like no, because this is going to be a conversation technically. So like to start off is like on my side, or I guess on the West African side, they usually want you to marry so young. Like they think that you shouldn't be married when you're like 25 or 30, like things like this. They want you to marry at such a young age, and it's like, why is this like the norm, you know? And it's like they don't care about whether you're not ready. They don't care about your readiness. They don't care that you're probably really like not physically and mentally and spiritually ready for it. They only care that you're young and they want to be ready, and you gotta be fast with it so that your kids can come at this that and then it's like it's so sad that this pressure comes from the people that we love and is surrounding us 24/7, that like it's crazy because usually when it comes to marriage, like you really have to think about, are you ready? Are you personally ready for that? Like, and it's not about, oh, it's like, are you ready for a partner? It's not just that, are you ready to have a partner? It's more about like, are you ready in terms of self? Like, are you doing you know, are you doing what you're supposed to do? Stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna give it to Yasmin and then we'll see.
I mean, I get it. For me personally, like my family doesn't really pressure me to do much. Like if anything, my mom advises me to marry at minimum 30. She always tells me like, "Oh, you should get married when you done finish school, got a good job and have money, and that's when you should
Yeah.
get married." And I understand that, and she's right though. Like
Yeah.
I see the vision, and inshallah I will get the vision. But so I'm just gonna talk about like in my culture what like they expect in that guy kind of. It's like getting married too late is so true though. Like I feel like now it's kind of because now these days your parents want you to get married too late, but there's a bigger issue to that which I'm very sure we're gonna get into in a minute. But it's like getting married too late or getting married too early. Like it's either one. It's either it's not, there's no balance. It's like extreme here, extreme there. Or in my culture it's like I don't know why. No, I know exactly why, but it's like marrying a rich slash prestigious guy. It's like,
Mm.
okay, yeah, sounds great, a provider, yada yada, but you shouldn't let it be the only reason though. Like that's what I'm talking about. It's like, you know how I think in like Fatu's culture, she always talking about like the caste system, not
Mm-hmm.
from the same village area. It's kind of the opposite. It's like they will prefer you marry a Western guy that's banked on money than you know what I mean? Or like
Mm-hmm.
a doctor, he high in knowledge, but even if his like character is low key kind of or disgusting, they won't really care. He got that money. He got that money. So, but as I said, like for me, alhamdulillah, like I'm chilling. Either way, I don't even let my family pressure me to do anything because at the end of the day, it's very much my life. I'm not gonna suffer the consequences because you didn't live yours. Tough love, but also I only care about the criteria that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me. If my family have any concerns, I'm willing to hear, but ain't nobody pushing me to do anything. So yeah.
I'll be on this. And it's like is like it ties into traditional values, because usually like they, for example, in my culture, like I know it's very different from Yasmin's culture. Like I'm surprised that they say to get married when you're older. Like I never heard that from my side ever. But
No, in
like,
my culture they don't. My culture they don't say that. It's just like my mom says that,
oh
but it's only because I've been seeing many videos. Like when I'm saying videos, I mean like social media people come like youngsters.
yeah, complaining about
They be
the,
complaining about it, but it's not
yeah.
in my culture. They don't say to marry young, older. I promise you that
Mm,
they do not say that. They say
okay.
marry like fresh nine, not fresh 19, but like fresh
We scared
19,
to say
like
the ages here.
right, like no, our cultures are very very similar,
Very
like
similar. But yeah,
so I just don't let that affect
in
me.
terms, yeah, heavy on this. In terms of the traditional values, like Yasmin said about the caste system, the caste system is one example of like why they want you to get married young. They're like, oh, like instead of the caste system, because you're a hore, like hores, they always get married young and they always do this and that. And it's like, why are you pressuring me to something that's one, like haram, and then two, like all this pressure, all this force, all this like obligation is so, it's too much. It's too much, especially when you yourself know you're not ready. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
there's almost like they're only going, you feel as if they're only going to be proud of you if you do what they say and get married young. But it's like, marry when you know you're ready, not when your relatives
Period.
believe you are. In the end, who is it getting sent off to their new home with a spouse they do not truly know, or a life they did not educate themselves on? It is not your aunt,
Yeah.
uncle, or parents who pressured you. It is you. You the one in that car, bro. You the one in that limo that's going to be in that room with the man that you wasn't ready to marry yet. Think about that. Respectfully communicate your unreadiness and do not be manipulated with the belief that age determines your readiness. Age does not determine your readiness. Just because you're freshly 18 or you're freshly 19 or freshly 20 doesn't mean you're automatically ready for marriage. Marriage does not, it doesn't open the doors for you that easily yet. Like,
Mm-hmm.
come, it's gonna come in the next few slides, but like I don't want to say too much in this one slide. But you're gonna understand why. You're gonna understand why.
Right. Mind you, like as she said, you will have to spend the rest of your life with him. So make sure you can actually endure him. Like trust. You're gonna either be real miserable
Mm-hmm.
or real happy. Choose your, and mind you, it's not even gonna be in a way where you're gonna gain something at the end. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you won't. Don't marry someone based off of your family expectations, because at the end of the
Yes.
day it's not them who's marrying them, it's very much you. Yes, you're looking for someone to, let's say, provide for you, and this is going talking about them about marrying like marrying a rich guy. Like
Mm-hmm.
yes, you want him to provide for you, and it's wonderful. Preach, go on, sis. Matter of fact, like I'm doing the same thing, but don't let it be your only motivation though, because that's what they be doing. Like
Mm-hmm.
don't let it be your only motivation. Mind you, even if let's say you're forced into something, yada yada yada, like I know, besides your unreadiness, try to think about the fact that, like, let's say if the guy's really happy and excited and yada yada yada, you do realize that, like, because you guys are in a marriage, it's like you both have to like like not satisfy each other's needs, but it's like, actually like start liking each other and doing things that I
Yeah.
didn't mean like those type of haram things. Do like it kind of sounded like that, but like actually start like being nice to each other, having mercy. Mind you, he has a life too and he has feelings. So like
Yeah.
it's like, what about him though? Like, mind you, I'm not blaming you at all. It's definitely the parents' fault for like organizing this and forcing you upon this. But it's like, make sure you like you don't end up in this type of situation
Yeah.
because Allah's watching. So people like tend to get like, now as we mentioned, marriage is so over discussed because like it's so overrated. People be talking about this, making whole Bollywood movies and yada yada yada, freaking daydreaming, adaptive dreaming, whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
because like we
Babel.
get influenced.
Let me show. No, it's a Senegalese film on YouTube, but called Babel that
Okay.
encouraged. Okay, anyway. And
Oh, okay, okay.
polygamy you'll see, but like, okay, continue.
Because we get influenced by it. You think this is just like, oh, someone just, oh yeah, but no, no, no. We get influenced, right?
So basically, the first point is friends getting engaged. Like usually you see online, like your mutuals, or you see that there's relatives that are that are getting married and engaged, and like you're almost in close in age, not too close, and it's like you once you grew up with them, you're like, oh, like since they're getting married, is it my turn too? Like I feel like everybody else is on their journeys of marriage, and I feel like I'm still left behind. I feel like that influence is what is going to stir something in your heart to feel like you need to get ready fast, like you need to get married fast, like you're ready for it now because everybody else, like everybody else in your mind is doing it, and like you're seeing it everywhere. Like for example, like all my relatives is just out here popping rings and everything, all popping rings and everything, and I'm like, oh, period. And it's like I was very shocked. But at the same time, I told myself that like I'm not left behind because I know I'm not ready yet. Like I know it's not my time yet, and inshallah, my time will come. Because you have to tell yourself this each time you see like relatives getting married or friends getting married or people around you who are like posting about it and like basically like showing like their marriage and everything. Like think to yourself how beautiful it is, Allahumma barik, but know that like don't ever have the thought in your head that like you're too behind or like you need to get married now because they are. Because what is I said, this mentality is just toxic, and it's like just don't have that, honestly. Like you know that you might not be ready right now, so don't even like don't even put yourself in that influence. Trust.
Yeah.
And even like the wedding aesthetics online, like seeing, for example, Pinterest or seeing your favorite influencer get married, like of course that will have you in your thoughts like, oh, this is what I need to be doing. I need to be having all this big wedding. Like I know there's a specific influencer that got married just recently in like a pink dress or something, and everybody was like all hyped for it.
Mm-hmm.
And like it
Who
was,
was it?
I think it was Mona Lee. I don't know where she's from, but her name was that. Anyway.
Yeah, like I saw them posting her. I was like, whose friend is this?
Exactly, like who is this? But I was like, mashallah, I guess, like alhamdulillah. But it's like always think to yourself, like don't ever think that you're like left behind. Like it's not your time yet. Social media is a big fat lie. Those marriages are beautiful, mashallah, but remember that you do not know the struggle those two people had to endure to get there. It's about finding yourself. Just because you see others online or you see this grand wedding doesn't mean it is easy, simple, and if she can do it, so can I. Everyone's journey is different. Suffer the challenges to gain the reward.
Yeah, like people, I feel like the reason why people these days are so interested in the idea of marriage because they love bomb themselves. They literally love bomb themselves because they see other people that are happily married, alhamdulillah. They see them, they're doing cute things, they're giggling, hee hee ha ha. They're having the time of their life. But what they tend to forget, and like you might be like, no, I didn't, but like you will really underestimate how much suffering you can go through in a marriage because like it's not easy at all. And like people are like, yeah, everyone says that, but we're dead serious. Like we're not even married, but we know because like that's something that social media won't tell you or
Mm-hmm.
won't show you. They'll tell you like, oh, once, like, also this goes back to like I feel like people, another reason that people these days leave your partner for anything. And like of course if your
Mm-hmm.
partner is like bad intentioned or whatever, okay, we get it. And like you tried and tried and tried, okay, we get it. But like you leaving your partner just because he tied his shoelaces wrong.
Who's doing this?
No, I'm telling you, people out here actually leaving their partner over everything. One of the, first of all, one of the main things about marriage is commitment.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot just sit here, like, mind you, you both are imperfect humans. Like, yes, you both will hurt each other whether you like it or not, which obviously you have to be with a partner that doesn't want to hurt you, but you will end up hurting each other. But it's about how his intentions were and how you solve the problem. You cannot just sit here every time thinking about breaking up. Yeah. Matter of fact, they say that like, oh, the moment you think about breaking up, the relationship's over, even if you haven't done it. So that's another thing that if social media has really influenced us, is like they be telling you, oh, he did this, red flag, oh, he did this, red flag. And yes, as I said, some of them are red flags, but like,
Mm-hmm.
come on now, like really come on now, be very mindful. Okay, social media is a big fat lie.
Let me on this.
Yeah, no, social media is not the place you want to be getting your influence slash things you want to strive to be. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's
I mean,
very much not showing you the whole way.
some parts of social media because we are also social media.
I mean, no, we're talking about weddings.
Yeah,
though.
we're talking about those type of things where it's like it depends on the way you view it. Also, like also the way people there's some of these people that be posting OD, but like also the way you view it as well. Like when you're
Oh.
viewing it, don't think that like, oh, I need to do it this way or this is how I do it. And like don't worry so much about being behind. Like you don't, like I said, you don't not know how hard it took for them to be there. You know, like yes, they could have been so close in age with you, but you don't know how what their struggles were. You don't know if whether they achieved their goals before getting into this marriage. Like you think it's so easy because it's always surrounding you every time you scroll and every time you see it on Pinterest. But trust, it's not as easy as it looks. It's not. Put like you have to find self and you have to know yourself and know what you want, and like not even just that, like you have to make sure you are good and emotionally available for a partner. Also when it comes to like that's another thing,
Hmm.
that's another slide,
Yeah,
I keep
cause
going.
like now that's yeah, y'all gonna see that's the part we're gonna debate on,
Yeah.
because yeah, that's the part we're gonna debate on. But also, just like when you, if you feel like feeling late, that's just like, if you really think about it, it's like, don't you trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Like He made a plan for you, He made it so that you will find your nasib, inshallah, ameen. So it's like, have sabr, like it will
Mm-hmm.
come when it will come. Like, mind you, if you guys are destined, nothing on this earth will stop it,
I'll be
because Allah
honest.
subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed it.
As Yasmin just emphasized, comparing yourself to others, like FOMO, basically. Like you feel like you're missing out because a lot of the people around you, or not even your people, but like a lot of like we said, influencers or people that you're seeing online around you are getting married and having these extravagant weddings, and you think that like, oh, like should be me, should be me, should be this, should be that. Please, please. Instead of worrying if you're behind on the now she's off the market trend, if you know, you know.
Hold
Worry
on, if
about
you know,
that
you know.
degree, girl. Worry about that career goal, those finances. Worry about whether you are treating others the way they want to be treated. And you know why I say this part? Because if you're treating others unfairly, if you're treating others like in a way where they don't want to be treated and you're not being kind to others, what makes you think that this is gonna be sound harsh? What makes you think your
No,
partner
no.
will like you that way? Or what makes you think you can find a good partner if you are out here
First of all,
treating others worse? Like it's you might
yes.
like please.
No, she's so right, because like that's the thing. I'm sorry I yelled, but like that's so true though, because like in the Quran it says like good women are for good, like good men are for good
Yeah,
women, bad
and
men are for bad women. So
mhm,
it's like, fix yourself first. Like be
mhm,
that woman that you want your husband, like be the woman that you would want your dream husband to find. Like, do you think that if you're not a certain, like, it's like, let's say if you are like, as Fatou said, like, let's say you judge others, you talk behind other people's back and yada yada yada, you will find a man that corresponds to
to those,
your
yeah.
personality. Like, you can, like, do not like, let's say, if let's say you go to the club, you drink, you smoke, whatever, like
You
ill
can,
intention,
mhm,
and you want a sheikh as a man
exactly. You
that
cannot
goes to the
expect
mosque. What is this? This
you
is
cannot expect a
unreasonable.
good man if you are a bad woman, or you cannot expect a good woman if you are a bad man. Like that's not how it works. So change your character, change the way you carry yourself and the way you treat others. You know, in order to
Yeah,
find that person.
I do agree with Fatu and everything, but I am a person that believes that you can balance marriage and education if you have your priorities straight. If you know you're the type of gal, like if you know you're the type of woman that will, okay, like, because everyone, like, low-key, everyone's kind of like this. Like when you do have your husband, you tend to start putting him first, and yeah, yeah, it's okay, it's normal, you know, you love him, he loves you, whatever. But if you know that, then you should refrain from being married until you reach those goals, because like marriage is not, like, don't be that type of, like, you cannot be a woman where you don't have like any type of education. Like, god forbid you guys have divorce, like a talaq, and then like you're left with no money, no nothing, no honey, no money. um that would be a very big issue. So it's like you should have at least an education to support yourself, you know. And plus, you are a woman, you are more than just a wife. You are a person, you have goals, you have dreams, you have a mind, you have a mouth, you have everything. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
have a personality, you're fierce, you're strong, you're powerful, period.
I'll be on
But
this.
you, if you have your priorities straight, you can balance the two. And I can even give a story, actually. This goes back to Akhi Ayman. Actually, I was listening to one of his khutbahs, and he was talking about how like there was this young couple that came to him, and like they went to university together and decided just to do the nikah, so that when they go on the hallways they can hold each other's hand and make it be halal. So they did it. they got married, and they're both still at school. But now at least when they want to do whatever they want to do in the hallway, like hold hands or talk to each other, hug, whatever, it's halal, it's permitted, permissed, no, permitted. So
permissible.
you know.
So my view, my take on that was that how I generally feel like this is just me personally, like it's not to bash anybody's or whoever views differently, but it's like I don't think you can balance the two. Like you can balance the two accordingly. Like, and it's only because I say this like for I say this for the younger people, not for like the people who are like 25 and have jobs. Obviously, like now it's all about balance because you have a job and career now. I'm talking about the people who are on the verge or on the path of finding their career goals or finding their jobs or finding finance and stuff like this. Like, focus on that. What like I get that your desires and wanting to like be in love and wanting to have marriage, like being married, I promise you, not only is it going to it could help your desires if that's what it feels like. Of course, it's like it's a benefit to help your desires, but it's also like now it's another thing on top of you trying to like focus on your career and your path. Like if you're not really stemmed firm on what you want and like in terms of like what you need and what you want to do in the career you have, why add on another thing to have to focus on and also motivate and encourage on top of the things that you are still not ready yet? Why is it in your mind that you cannot continue going on and you cannot continue finding that career and finding that goal without a man by your side or without a woman by your side? Like, I get it, like you have desires, you want love, I understand that. But if you're doing it when you're not really steady in like your career, not really steady in like technically finance, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Like mentally, yes, you might be ready. Physically and spiritually, are you really ready for that yet? It's going to be difficult to balance that out. Like I was saying to someone how it's like now you have to focus on your man or your woman now and what they want and things you want, like their life. Like that's another life to focus on top of the life that you're trying to build yourself. Your life isn't built yet, like it's not fully built to its capacity of how you want it, yet you want to add on another life to it and make it kind of difficult for yourself. That's the only reason why I think it's like a little mumbo jumbo, but I don't know, that's just my opinion.
So basically, yeah, like that's the thing. Like as I said, if you're not like if you cannot balance them, then don't get married. But it's
Yeah,
very much not impossible though. Like many, first of all, our parents have done it. People in this day and age have done it. But the problem is now us youngsters, like we don't see marriage for how it is. Like you mentioned desires and stuff, but the issue is that marriage is not there to fill your desires. If the only reason or like the main reason you want marriage is so that you can fulfill your desires, no, like that's
exactly.
not what marriage is about. That's
Exactly
really
right.
like, yes, it will, as she said, it will help you. Like let's say if you think about like you think you're gonna be on the verge of zina, whatever, whatever, then get married, do it halal, right? But if it's just because like or like primarily for desires, then no, like that's
And it's not gonna
just
help you
get it
even.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's just not how marriage works. Marriage is not about that. Marriage is about like, first of all, putting Allah in the center of it. Second of
Exactly.
all, like letting down your like ego and everything, and like you will really feel like you will really learn how to forgive someone. Like you will really really learn what it
Yeah.
means to forgive somebody. Like I promise you this. Like it's really about that. And yes, and mind you, like the harder, I feel like for me personally, I believe that it's like the harder it is, the bigger the reward. So you can balance it out. Like if you actually, as I said, like it's about two people separate lives coming together, adding onto each other. It's not meant to be like, oh, I'm focusing on him. Yes, he's a priority, but you should have your own life outside of him. That's why I believe personally that it can work out. But I do want to mention like something that I feel like this is more behind the, this is more for women. No, even men go through this actually. But it's like marriage also is like people tend to judge other people's marriages. Coming back to like influence and social media, I will specifically talk about how like when you're like 40 or like you're literally like at an age where it's like, oh damn, like she's expired, yada yada yada, and you still not married. But first of all, actually, I'm gonna just say that first of all, it's sunnah to get married at 40. because Khadija radiallahu anha
Mhm.
got married to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when she was 40. She got her business together, yada yada yada, and then she got married. So if you want to do that, that's obviously perfectly fine. Like no one should tell you otherwise, because just because you're 40 doesn't mean that you're like an old sack of prunes and like it's over for you. No. Okay. As we mentioned, it's like you are not just a wife. You're not born, you're not here just to be someone's wife. You can actually literally fulfill your life, fulfill your deen without even getting married. This is not even an obligation.
Mhm.
It's just something that completes half your deen, which is beautiful, and it's something that would add to your life. But if you don't wish to get married, no one should force you otherwise. Okay? No one
Mhm.
should force you otherwise. Even when it comes to marrying too young. Yes, it is way less recommended because let's say you need to figure some things out first, see this, see that, get your life together, and then you like once you're in a good position in your life you get married. That would be great. But if let's say you get married when you're young, let's say you're like 20, okay, you get married, but your life is like fit for it, so it's okay and everything, or you know how to balance it out, no one should judge you either though. That's the thing, like it's your decision. If you fit the criterias, don't delay it. Like the don't delay it. Like this is coming from a Muslima. Like you don't need to delay it, even if you're young or you're too old or whatever. Like don't delay it. Like because that could like cause you to commit zina, which we know is a very serious sin that is advised to not even get near to.
You definitely emphasized it, and it's like in my terms is like when people are like what yes we emphasized on like when they're always judging you like you want to be 40 and single like listen, it's when you are ready. It's really when you are ready. Like age age is not the biggest factor. It's about your readiness. It's about your readiness. Like close your ears to their judgment. You don't have to even when they're saying like you're so behind, like come on, you're getting close to that age. It's time for you to get married. It's time for you to go out there. Like ask yourself, are you ready? Ask yourself, did you obtain those goals you really wanted to achieve? Ask yourself, how are you with others? How are you with yourself? Are you ready to hold on to another person? Are you ready to have your life go from uno to dos, like from this whole
Please.
this whole this whole shift, this whole like different factor. And it's like marriage is important. It's like in this day, like people don't see it as that. People see it as just the way for you guys to be like I feel like in our generation, hold on. Let me set up. In our generation, right? People see marriage as just like a way for you guys. Of course, like what we said before, like to fulfill your desires. No. Marriage, first you have to marry premiere for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the first reason why you want to be married. Second, okay, that's when you're like what you want in a husband and a wife. That's what comes after that. But it's like, yeah, when people are judging you, close your ears. Close your ears to their judgment. They do not see the battles you fight, and they do not see how you really are worrying about it, and how like you're not ready, and how that like it might be a challenge. Like they don't see that, so they do not see like they don't see it. They don't see that, right? They don't see that. Only Allah knows when you're ready, and only Allah knows like those battles that you're fighting in your interior. Like your time will come. Trust your time will come. Do not try to rush it because others are rushing you. You know when you are ready mentally and spiritually. No one has a right to tell you that. No one has a right to force marriage upon you. Even social media, like I probably to your eyes, to you, it might not seem like it's getting forced upon you, but when you're constantly scrolling upon it, when you're constantly looking at all of this, and you're like, oh my god, like I wish this is also another reason of like not judgment, but like another reason of like, oh, am I being behind? Am I left behind on this because everybody else is doing it? Like, don't see that and be like, it's my time because everybody else is doing. No, like everybody's time is different. Not everybody has the same amount of time, and like yes, we emphasize like it's not just for your desires. It's more on that. Like it's a lot more on that, and that's something that we'll get into the next slide.
Yeah, like to be honest, for me personally, when I talk about getting ready, I don't mean talking about your goals. Yes, because as I said, I believe that this is something you should continue while you're getting married. It's not like when you're getting married, all things just come to a stop. Like, mind you, if you were like, you're gonna spend the rest of your lifetime doing goals anyway. So it's like, you should achieve certain, let's say, certain goals before getting married. But for me, when I say you're ready, I mean, like, first of all, how are you with yourself? But also, before this is Islamically, like, you cannot get married if it's like, if like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set up criterias and you don't at least feel like most of them. That's what I mean when you say get ready. It's not about goals or
I mean,
this, because
yeah. Like
you
when we say goals, though, it's not like goals in terms of like everybody's goals is different. So so we're saying goals in a generally sense is like saying that like what, for example, someone's goals could be personal readiness, like spiritual readiness. So it's not like, oh, like just career goals or just things goals. Like goals itself
but as I said, it's
is,
still goals
yeah.
though.
That's
Like, it's still
exactly,
something
but like you
that,
cannot, like, especially like goals itself, like imagine some, like I said, imagine somebody's goals like mental goals or like spiritual readiness, and like it's not ready yet, and then you're implicating another man's life or another into your goals. Like it's like that's not something that could easily be balanced if you're not spiritually ready. So like that could be someone's goals, and then now your argument is saying that like if you're not spiritually ready and your goal is to be spiritually ready, yet you want to be married
I did
now.
not say that
No, I'm
sentence.
saying that
You
like
thought
I'm
about that
saying
sentence.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody's goal is different. So it's like at a certain point in life, there is going to be a change where it's like your goals will get smaller and like you know you're ready. There's a shift in your emotions. There's a shift in your balance, and you understand that like even if sometimes it even is career and financial. Sometimes even if that really is the true meaning, and the true meaning of it is like you're really ready, you finally know what you want, you finally are okay with where you at, you're steady, nothing else is in your way, then okay, voila. Like you can get married, and like inshallah it comes to you, or inshallah you go to it, and it's like mashallah tabarakallah. But yeah, goals is definitely like when we say goals in a general sense, some people's goals is very different from others, like it's like some goals will not add on to you, like some goals you cannot add on to that with marriage at a young time, you know.
Like, long story, like, even though, like, I'm very well aware of that, and that's why I said there are certain goals you have to achieve before getting married. But as I still say, like, what I said still stands, because you still will complete goals throughout your life anyway. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you are right though that there are some goals you cannot add to, like, to it, like, let's, like, some goals maybe you cannot add a man to it, like, but I was gonna give an example, but honestly, you need to change the man. So, but like, I was gonna say, like, traveling, like, let's say you want to travel the world, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if let's say you get married, it's gonna be a little bit complicated, because what if your man doesn't like traveling? But that sounds like a him issue. But no, like, there are some goals that you cannot add to. That's why I said you should achieve some goals before. But either way, in your lifetime, you will achieve goals, and that's why I mentioned that, like, you should fit the Islamic criterias. It could be a goal, one that you need to achieve, but it's still like an Islamic criteria. It's still something you have to do. It should be, if you want to get married, this should be, think of it as an obligation. This should not, you know what I mean? If you want to get married, you have to fit that Islamic criteria, whether you like it or not. This is an obligation you have to fulfill. So yes. So first of all, the most important part is spiritual readiness. Okay, the Quran describes marriage as a means of tranquility, love, and mercy between spouses. That's Surah 30, Ayah 21. This shows it is not just for the aesthetics, because social media be talking about it like another trend, honestly. The Prophet ﷺ encourages marrying those who are able to fulfill the rights of marriage. Okay? Emotional, financial, and spiritual readiness are a part of that. Though it is like, even though it's encouraged to marry early, it doesn't mean what we think it means, slash it's not obligated to. What it means is that youth comes maturity, oneness of Allah. Islam prioritized maturity and responsibility over rushing into marriage. Niyyah, the purpose behind marriage, should be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. First, it is not for you to get hypes and mark number one on someone's marriage Pinterest board, please. What is this? Are we kids? I feel like at some age you actually gotta stop like living for social media. Not even at any age, but like for real, like this this trend. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Now just hurt me. Like, I don't get it. Like, no, no. Anyway, you're marrying a whole human. Okay, as we mentioned, he has feelings and a life, and we're not no like like proud man haters. Please, this doesn't really help anybody. Second, that's No. When you rush into marriage for the clicks and the jazz, that is all your marriage will be drowned in. Think about the YouTubers who all tried this and are now divorced, which is very, very true. Like, I can, like, many like family YouTubers, they're like camera in their face, in their kids' face, yada yada yada,
Mm-hmm.
and they now divorced, and stuff happened behind the scenes, abuse, and I'm like, is this what you wanted?
Heavy on
Like,
this. Like we really glamorize these YouTubers and all these Pinterest people and all these like Instagram celebrities and their marriages, and we're like, wow, like this is really it. Like they really got it together. Do I need to do this and that in order to achieve this and that? And it's like the purpose of marriage, premier of all, for the sake of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Like, do you understand the basis of Tawheed, the oneness of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala? Like, where are you spiritually? Are you praying 5 times a day? Are you understanding Allah subhanahu, are you understanding Islam? Are you reading Quran? Are you doing all of this? Like, making sure you're prioritizing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and salah. But sometimes, usually most times, a lot of us prioritize all of this only for social media. And in that is like marriage is always so like prioritized there and so glamorized there that like we're seeing it every day and we're like, like since everybody's getting married, let me try it out. Let me try it out. Even though you're like you didn't try out your prayer for the day. Like you didn't take the time to really do your ticket. Instead you want to go and hold the man's hand. Like I don't understand. But listen, guys, like when we're talking about spiritually, we're talking about actually understanding yourself when it comes to your iman. How high is your iman? Are you making sure that you are prioritizing salah? Are you making sure that you're prioritizing um your knowledge and being good and giving zakah, like doing all of this? Are you doing that? Or are you just standing scrolling on Pinterest and like putting in your mood boards and all of this? Like come on guys, like this is not it. This is not it. And then in that is emotional readiness. And what we mean by emotional readiness is that where are you emotionally? Like, do you have that emotional intelligence when it comes to knowing who you are? Like, do you know what you want? Do you know what you want to do in life? And like when we say do in life, like, do you genuinely know who you are and what you want? Like sometimes, like people, like sometimes you can have that feeling, and I know because I used to have that feeling where it's like you want to like jump into things too quickly and you want to experience life, but like you don't really know where you're going. You don't really know what path you're taking, but you're just going there, because you just want to be extravagant with everything. And it's like that is what's going to crash all down on you because everything is going to start crashing down and piling all at once because you want us to try a lot of things so quickly. Marriage can be a really important part of that. Like, maybe you're not emotionally ready with yourself. Maybe you don't really know what you want. And like, you're trying to hide those parts of you that really are those feelings, those deep feelings that you're trying to ignore in that. And you're just being so extravagant with a lot of things around you, trying to find new things to do, and then maybe marriage is a part of that. And you're trying to find that, and you go straight into it without knowing who you are, without knowing self, and then boom, like it comes crashing down. You're like, wait, like you start to understand that you're not ready for this, but it's too late. Like because the card papers are signed, you're already sitting next to this man. So it's like you're thinking maybe I wasn't really truly ready for this. Maybe I was just it was on my head. It was on my head, but I was not really truly ready. And it's like it's too late now. Like it's too late now. I mean, it's not too late. Like if you leave, like it's low key. Like it won't really look good on you. And it's like in that emotional readiness is also it's also like what we said. Like how do you treat others around you? How are you with others? Like are you being kind to others? When others are saying that like, oh, you're such a kind, you're such a good person, are you really like that when you're by yourself? Like are you making sure that your intentions are really pure and you're really a good person? Like because you got to understand that when it comes to marriage now it's not just about self. Now it's like you and that person. So now it's like you have to understand their feelings. You have to kind of adapt to their feelings, what they need and stuff like this. And it's like don't see it as like oh, like this is a chore for me, or like this is a burden. Like it's not supposed to be a burden. You're supposed to be emotionally ready for that. You're supposed to be emotionally ready to adapt to that and know what you want. So it's like that's just an important factor that I wanted to add on there. I don't know if it's making sense because it's everywhere at once, but yeah.
comment down below if you guys think it makes sense. But
LOL.
give a little summary of what Fatou just said.
I feel like it made a lot of sense, but it's just I be mumbling sometimes. English is not my first language.
That is a lie, guys. Don't believe her. But she made sense. That made a lot of sense, especially when it comes spiritually. Because think about you and your relationship with Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, because that comes first. You cannot be sitting here and like making your relationship with Allah Subhanahu wa Taala less just because you're in a marriage. That's not. A matter of fact, your relationship with Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is supposed to become even stronger because of the marriage. Because Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is supposed to be in the center of it. You know, that's one. Your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how you are as a person is very true as well. Because you can pray, you can fast, but like if you suck as a person, then what's going on? Be kind. Be someone generous. Give to charity. Be like smiley. You know what I mean? Like being emotionally ready is very important as well. I will talk about it from a different factor or a different point of view, like a different side of it. But for me, like being emotionally ready is very important. When I say this, is that it's like you need to be the type of person where you're mature enough to handle problems. You're mature enough to be able to efficiently express, communicate your feelings with your partner. You should be knowledgeable enough about yourself and the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. You should know what you don't want your life to look like and what you want your life to look like. Obviously, you're not gonna control your life because that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decree and that's only up to him. But you should know where your priority stands. You should also be emotionally ready in a way where you're mentally okay. You're not depressed. And when I say emotionally like mentally ready, I don't mean like you have a illness or something. No. I mean like yes, depression is an illness, but what I mean is that you cannot sit here and be depressed and have a burden and everything, and then like let's say you get married and you bring him down with you. Obviously like he is supposed to be there to support you and everything, but be emotionally ready too, especially if you just got in the marriage. You know what I mean? Fix your mental health. Take care of yourself. Build good habits. The habits that you have at home now. Let's say you don't clean up after yourself, or you make a mess and yada yada yada. What about that? It's like really like it's really be the little things. It's like do you guys habits align? That's very important. That's what people don't think about at all. It's like you start nitpicking the other person and how they do things, like, oh, why do you put the trash bag like this? Oh, why do you put your shoes there? Like I'm like, whoa, this should have been discussed already and at least should have came to an agreement. Focus on your mental health and your habits is very important. And being financially ready is also very important. Like I even know this. I'm not saying that you gotta be a billionaire, making that $3 like a three
$3
figure. Like the no, what I wanted to say is like three different incomes, each one giving you like six figures. No, 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 no.
No.
Financially readiness means like don't be in debt and get in a marriage. Like what are you like doing? First of all, being in debt is a whole different sin that we're not even gonna talk about. Be financially stable enough, both sides, men and women, because even women, yes, his money are your guys' money, but your money is your money. But also have some money for yourself, for your family. If let's say you're feeling nice, you wanna buy him a little gift. The choses comme ça, you should be financially ready. And when you're financially ready, that means you work. That means you're doing something with your life. Be especially as the guy that meher, make sure that you have enough money to make your guys have a stable life. Something that I hate, and I hate passionately, is like when parents they're broke, they're dirt broke, and they still have like six children. Like why do you do that? I don't understand why you would put yourselves through this and your children through that. And now your kids are gonna be, either they won't have the proper education, or they won't have enough food, or this or that, or then they're gonna grow up with certain traumas. And yes, obviously you're doing your best, but why put your kids through that? Be financially ready to support your wife, or and be financially ready to support your kids.
And the reason we say why you shouldn't go with the flow and do it for the plot is basically what we just spewed at you right now, like emotional, spiritual, and financial readiness. like Yasmin said, you don't want to be in a situation where where you have kids with your spouse and you guys aren't financially like stable, and now your kids have to suffer those consequences. And going into a marriage so quickly without any plan of what you want to do, and the only reason that you go into this like to fix your desires, and you want to have a romantic partner. I mean, it's not really going to look good for you in the end, because there's so much preparedness that goes into that. And like there's a lot of influencers out there that talk about that show their own journeys in marriage, and alhamdulillah, they're all in happy marriages, yes, but they do talk about their struggles a lot. And you know why? It's because you really have to prepare yourself for marriage. It's not a game. Like, to us, like, for example, to us, we think it's like a girlfriend boyfriend high school relationship, and it's like has been so normalized in a lot of like our places where like you guys go into marriage with just the idea of like, oh, you can finally hold hands now, but like you guys like break up in the span of like 2 weeks. Because of what? Because you guys didn't see it as like a real readiness thing. I just saw it as a way for you guys to finally hold hands. Like, that's really what some of people in this generation are doing now, and it's actually so disgusting. So, but it's like, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Like, perfection does not exist to us, but effort does. Put in the effort to be better in these categories before you shake hands with a man or a woman.
Yes, that's very true though. Like I really agree with everything she said though. Just have sabr. Just build yourself, you know? Be that type of person where you're happy, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be happy with you on the day of judgment. Be the type of person where you're proud to be, like you walk in the room and you're like, yup, I'm that person. Not pride, but confidence. Marriage is a very serious commitment, and if you know you're the type of person where you cannot really commit, guys, I can be your marriage counselor or relationship, like halal relationship counselor. I am very much ready. You can DM us or DM us and I will respond for $10 a month. Okay, well, $10 per 2 weeks. No, $10 per hour. Per hour.
Keep keeping this whole part.
I believe that love is every day you wake up and you choose to be with that person.
So we're gonna talk about balance, faith, and culture. Or like the first bullet point is basically exploring how someone can follow Islamic guidance about marriage while living in a culture that pushes for these cultural marriages where they have, for example, for me in the caste system, or for me in the like old, young but not mature marriages. So it's like when we say this is like always Islam over culture 100. Whatever
Period.
Islam says to do it accordingly. Do it with the mindset of I'm doing this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for him alone. But whatever culture encourages that it's not Islamic, don't even strive for it. Don't even put that in your mindset. And I feel like that's so important to know. When you're in a marriage, definitely try to encourage each other to better your imans, because like not only is it better for yourself, it's also better for your children, because you would want to be a good example for your kids. You would want to be a good example for the future generation, because like for me personally, I always wanted to be a kid who really grew up on like so much knowledge on Islam. Like I feel like alhamdulillah for the life I have now, but I feel like it could have really made a great difference if I grew up knowing Islam from like the jump, in a good way, in the way where I was really encouraged for it. And like that's why I say it's so important to make sure that not only even before marriage, like make sure you know yourself spiritually, and then in marriage make sure you guys encourage each other to be better spiritually, because it's very important. It's something that's very overlooked sometimes, and people don't even like they water it down when they're in marriage. They do whatever, they think that marriage is like the end to like the spiritual path. Is like bad. No, like it's not like now you two gonna be each other anyway. And yeah, and it's like, you have anything to add there, or you want to go to the next bullet?
Yeah, like that goes back to being emotionally ready. It's like you have to be the type of person that as I said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased with you on the day of judgment. But it's also like you need to take, your life has to be like, or like your marriage has to be in harmony in a way that it wouldn't bring negativity into your kid's life as well, because that's a huge responsibility. Not gonna lie, your kids can either make or break you when it comes to your akhirah, and it's true.
And also for pressuring kids to marry young even when the kids is not mature in the three aspects. So
It's haram.
I feel it's haram. Exactly, it's haram. We keep emphasizing this a lot. Like, if the kid is not emotionally ready, spiritually ready, financially ready, then the only thing they have is like, and the only thing they have is like their age. Why are you putting them in a marriage? Why are you doing that to them? Why are you doing that to yourself if you are the kid in question? Like, if you're not ready in these three aspects, and like, now you not only do you have to focus on them, now you're focusing on a new partner with probably those same aspects. No, probably with aspects that like you don't even like. Usually in like many of our cultures, like, they see that once you're married, or once this marriage that you probably didn't even want to be in, they see that and they're like, oh, like, finally, like, you know who you are, or like I'm so proud of you. Or even like back to like what Yasmin said, is like, when you feel like when you're in marriage is when you're like happy and free and you think it's all this goodie, and like life is great and rainbows and roses and stuff. But it's like, why couldn't it be that way even before? Because I know she talked about like, I know you talked about like how after it's not going to be all roses and stuff. But I also want to talk about like before, like, why do you feel like you're only going to be happy in marriage? Why can't you feel like you're going to be happy before that, when you finally know who you are and like living life, and then like being happy with yourself before getting into a marriage? Why do you feel like you're only going to be happy in marriage? And if you have that mindset, then you're definitely, like, to me, there's no readiness in that. There's no readiness in that. You're not happy with yourself, being by yourself first, but yet you feel like once you're married, that's when life is all trees, roses, and happy hero. Like, to me, is that's my point. That's where I see it as, and I'm just like, you know, yeah. But yeah, that's all I wanted to add there.
No, but she's so right about that, because like, I promise you, if like, I know there's some people that are kind of counting on marriage to make them happy, and I'll even say this myself. I was one of those people, but I'll say this from, I'll tell you guys now, this might break your heart, so I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. If you were not happy before marriage, you're not gonna be happy after.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard truth. And that might just be like that. I know, take a minute, sit down, drink some water, eat a date
Drink
or
some tea.
something. But like, if like, for real though, like, now that's like, it's a serious topic, because mental health is like very serious. But it's like, if you really feel like, oh, no one understands you and yada yada yada, try to find that like peace in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, and be happy. Like, you know what they say, it's like, if you cannot stand being alone with your thoughts, that means there's something that you need to
Yeah.
fix. Like, you need to be able
Yeah.
to stand yourself alone, because that means there's something there that is not correlating, that is not working out. So you need to work this out. And that's very important to remember. Making decisions that align with your values is so important. And this can also go back to haram relationships, actually. Like, I'm gonna just do a little 1 minute thing though. Like, I'm not gonna talk too much, but it's like, in haram relationship, it's like, usually it happens because you start adjusting your values for a man, or your desires for a man or a woman. It goes both ways. But that's just wrong. You should stay firm on your values, and first of all, put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first. If you don't have barakah in your halal relationships, that marriage with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like, you don't have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's barakah, then it's over. And why would you even want a marriage that does not have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's barakah? Really think about it. So you need to find a guy that aligns with your values.
I definitely agree with what you said. It's very important, and I think we should all take that into consideration. In conclusion, like, definitely just take everything into account. Like, when it comes to, if you're really having the thoughts about it, and those thoughts are getting like louder and louder and louder, think to yourself: are you ready emotionally, spiritually first, emotionally and physically? Are you ready for that? Are you ready? Like, do you have that readiness in your heart physically too? Like, who are the people that you're surrounding yourself around? um what are your goals in life? Are you happy with yourself before you want to bring that happiness into someone else as well? So it's like, have that thought in your mind, use that. And also, take Yasmin's advice. If you really feel like you are really ready and like you can achieve your goals with someone else, then okay, vas-y, fais ça. But when it gets hard, and it does, communication is key. So use that. And yeah, that's all I wanted to conclude about that. I'm gonna give it to Yasmin to end it off, and inshallah.
Yes, that's very true. Mind you, if it does get difficult, don't just sit here and throw your hands up and quit.
Yeah.
No, it will definitely get difficult. This is, I will sign my name on it if you'd like. Um, I do wanna
Say
say that
huh?
don't. I just want to remind you guys of my $10
Yes.
per hour marriage counseling. It is
Shawty's not even married yet, and she's talking
available
marriage
until
counseling, guys.
31st of December. So definitely catch up on that. And mind you, I know that in this episode we really talked about, oh, like low-key a lot of the negative side, like if anything only the negative side, but it's because
That's why it's called
people
Hold the
have just
Vows.
I didn't say that, she said that, but it's because people have glorified it too much, where they make it seem like, oh, there's no problem. It's like, you know, the like when you imagine like, oh, just people in the air, you know, like no problems in the world. No,
Mm-hmm.
marriage is very very difficult, and like even the people that marry young, they know this. Like marriage is difficult. Um, but marriage is honestly really beautiful when done properly
Mm-hmm.
and done with the blessing of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Mashallah, it's worth everything.
Yes, it
You know,
is.
it's
Really
is
is.
very much worth everything. Finding your nasib is very rewarding as well, and that's why we said don't delay it. If you're really able to get your priorities straight, please, I will do your nikah. No, I won't. But I can definitely be your marriage counselor for $10 an hour.
You.
um but no, but seriously,
$10 an hour?
but just yeah, it's just because I'm not a like I didn't get married yet.
Yeah.
It's cheap. $10 an
Yeah,
hour
guys,
is cheap,
yeah.
bro. Sheikh Hasim has $100 an hour.
If y'all want Yasmin, let me know, guys. How?
No, for real. Like I'm so serious.
Oh, let's talk about,
Like I'm not even
let's talk about
joking.
marriage.
Oh, whoa, no. Whoa. No, I thought you were talking about I thought you were finally supporting my counseling,
no,
and you talking about no, guys. I am very much not on the market.
Oh?
I'm very much, yeah. Like I'm not ready. I'm not. No, I'm
Hmm.
not trying to get married right now. Not like I'm
And
not.
why don't
I'm
you
not
want to get
taken.
married right now? Like, tell the people why, so
I
that they
don't
can
think
know.
my life situation is fitting. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even like my life situation is just not fitting. I also want to focus a lot on my spiritual side and
Mm.
more on myself as well. Like I just want to do some cleaning up on myself. I want to know what I want to do with my life, because this is very important. Like let's say if I want to, let's say, move to Dubai, move to Qatar, I want to go back, but then my man wants to go to like America or something like this. I'm not gonna have that. I don't really do long distance.
Mm-hmm.
So not I don't really, I just don't do long distance. So this stuff like this.
For me, I don't know if we already implicated this, but for me, I feel like 25. 25 years old. Like, I know I'm not ready now because, like, for me, it's so important for me to really, like, like, I know this is my personal motto. Like, if you ask my friends, I'm always like, find yourself, self. Because if you're
She's
really
narcissistic.
not happy with yourself, if you really cannot be in a room by yourself with yourself and your feelings, what makes you think that you're capable of holding on to another person? And it's also, it comes into like emotional, like, communication. Like, how are you able to contribute to their feelings and adapt to it and help them when you don't even know the answers to your own questions, when you don't even know your answers to your own goals, and I say goals is so important because you cannot have a man come into your life. Okay, the reason I don't want to get married yet is because I feel like it's so important to like have my goals in first.
It's very important, as she said, like if you're not happy before marriage, you're not gonna be happy after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's not gonna be like, don't even put that burden on him or her.
Thank you for listening to
The
Silent Path.
وهبتني لسانا ذا